Hi, my name is Pete, welcome to the channel. I was hoping to take you in there today, known as the Barnsdale Tunnel. Its proper name is the South Kirby Tunnel. I think with all the recent YouTube activity around this place, they have actually sealed that up again. There is no getting in there. It's got anti-climb paint on it. Not that I would do that anyway, because if they've sealed it up, it's obvious trespass to go in there, and I don't want to cause any problems for anybody. More importantly, the update on this one thing, I think they're actually planning on blocking that up completely. I think that's a temporary measure now. And I'll turn the camera around. We'll walk back up to Upton, because I want to show you the cutting. Nobody seems to show that. So we'll go through the cutting. There are some relics on the top, which I filmed earlier, and I've managed to get down into the cutting now to film inside the cutting. Anybody who knows disused railway tracks will know what they look like, or anybody who walks on them. This is not like any other disused railway track. There's been a lot of activity here recently, and I think plans are in place to actually seal that up there. You can probably see that bit of mud here. That's a bit of a clue for when I turn the camera around and show you this cutting through rock. It must have been quite an achievement, this. This is on the Hull and Barnsley line, mainly used for coal from the rich fields of West Yorkshire, South Yorkshire, getting that coal over to Barnsley and Hull. This line never actually made it to Barnsley, I don't think. But this is one hell of an engineering achievement to do this. That tunnel there, sadly we're not going to be able to get inside. I'll turn the camera around and I'll show you what this cutting looks like. So there's one of our portholes to this tunnel. I'll probably go across the top because I think all the air shafts have been capped off. But I think we'll go across and have a look. Seeing as I can't go in, I'll go across the top and see if there's anything left up there. And if there is, I will show you any of the air vents. Beautiful architectural engineering on that. I mean, this is out where nobody would see it, and they've still gone to the effort of putting those kind of edgings and copings up there, patterning the brickwork, the concaved brick around the arch, just there. So we'll come back to that and have a look across the top and see if there is anything. Now this cutting, look at that. This has been cleared, and I had to walk down here to get to this. We're walking towards Upton now and Wrangbrook Junction. I will be back to film those at some point, so please subscribe to the channel. That's if you want to learn about Wrangbrook Junction and Upton Railway Station, which I believe there is plans to reinstate a bit of the line up there as a heritage railway, which could potentially, if they don't seal this tunnel up, see it being reused again. But I think they're going to seal that up. Now looking at the ground, we've got all the caterpillar tracks. You can see that. You can see where they've cleared it out. You can see where they've shoved all the tree roots there, and they've got rid of a lot of rubbish as well. I will keep turning round so that you can see what that is like. Now I'm going to draw your attention to the rock sides on the cutting here. That 40 or 50 feet up there, it's like it on both sides. You'd have been able to see that much clearer when it was well maintained. So I'll continue walking up here and I'll show you what else makes me think that they're going to seal this tunnel up completely. Our tunnel is right through there in the darkness. I hope you can see these sides a bit better here and the scale of it basically. You know, these are mature trees that are growing down the bottom here. And we've got a clear path still. This is going to go all the way to Upton. A bit further down you might be able to just see the tunnel entrance down there, and I'm going to show you this face here of the cutting. I mean, look at that. That is just sheer rock that they've gone through to cut this, and it appears to be like this all the way. And this is highly likely what they've cut through to get into that tunnel, well, when they made that tunnel. And again, up there, I'm going to go back along the top here to go over the top of the tunnel, see if there's any vents or shafts. Now continuing on up there, Upton, and back that way, the tunnel. I'll continue on. A bit further on, down there's our tunnel. The cutting is getting shallower as we come over here. Now this pathway is cleared all the way like this to the tunnel. Now I find it strange that they've done this just to put a new padlock and door on there and paint it with anti-climb paint. And not only that, you can see a chalk mountain in front of me, and we'll go up there next. Before we get up to that chalk mountain, I'm stood right next to the face. It's, I don't know, 25 feet up there, something like that. But it is almost sheer, and it's the same at that side as well. I'll turn the camera around so you can see that. Now the lads, the navvies building this must have been tough fellas. I can't see any tool marks. Slightly mostly blasted, I would have thought. But yeah, impressive work. We'll continue on and I'll get to that chalk heap and I'll show you what I think's going on. We're almost at Wrangbrook Lane, which is behind me, and what you're looking at is towards the tunnel. It is like that literally all the way to the tunnel. A nice road. Lorries would get down there, you know, little tippers. And I think that's the plan. Because when we come here, we've got the caterpillar tracks. And then that. I'll show you that in a minute. I want to walk across the top and we'll come back to this bit. At the top of the embankment, we've got a lot of old railway relics. Marcation line, you can see where the wires were for the fencing, because this keeps you off the cutting. I'll get down there. There are a few relics on the top here. As you can see, there's a bit of a line of them there. More posts. That gap there is the cutting. But if we go a little bit further down here, there's quite an interesting thing that I don't know what it is. Big vast expanse at the top of the cutting. And if we look here, we've got this. This is made of the same material. It's going to be the same age. Any ideas what this was? Was it a junction box for some electrical cables or something? That's at the top of the cutting. Now, I'm not going to get too close to this edge, but that is really deep. And again, we've got more fence posts here. Lots of these left. That edge that you'll be able to see all along there is the edge of the cutting. More fence posts there. And we're moving along here. There looks to be some kind of channel there. So whether that was where electrical wires ran at one time, perhaps. And we've got a more substantial one here. Bit more metal work on it, looks like an end piece of some sort. keep going and seeing what else we can find. I've made it up onto the top of the tunnel. As with most of these tunnels, it is overgrown. Trying to find any clues of where the air shafts might have been. The air shafts. And I think I found one. So that way's towards the A1. That way's towards Upton. Now, there is a depression in the land here. I am hoping that you can get that on camera. I think you should be able to. A bit more prominent in that bit there. I will walk into it, because I do believe they were knocked down and capped and didn't collapse. So I think that could be one, and I'll continue walking down to the other portal to see if there's any other clues. And a little bit further on, I've come to a pile of rubble here. I hope you can detect that on camera. Now, I don't know what sort of brickwork these were made from, but this is definitely a pile of rubble here. There is evidence of smashed up stone there, but I don't see anything conclusive to any complete bricks. But it depends how fancy they were. Were they used in bricks or were they using these kind of products? So that's potentially another one. Now we have to cross a bit of open space. And I think the other portal is in that wood over there. We're now in the other section of the wood, and it looks like what I've come across as the first evidence of spoil heaps. There's none on that first part. And then we come here and I'm walking in a bit of a valley of mounds that could be here for no other reason other than spoil. Aha, look at this. A concrete base. It's got a hole in there. Give me a moment. I doubt very much you're going to be able to see what I'm seeing. No, but I can see a bit of brickwork in there. So this is definitely a capped off air shaft. I've got my bag on now. I'll just stand back so you can see it a little bit better. It is going there, across there, down there. Yeah, that's definitely one. Our capped off shaft is there. I'm still on top of these spoil heaps. They are absolutely huge, and this one's gradually coming down. I do find they're a bit strange as a break in them, but I'm confident these are the spoil heaps. I'll keep going. That's where we've come from, and it looks like there's more evidence of spoil heaps. Now they tend to bring spoil up out the shafts, and there we go. Definitely second shaft. Here we are. There we go. Capped off. And there's even a bit of rail there. I don't know if you can see that, but that looks like one of them rail braces that they put across when they're building the tunnels. So this one's definitely capped off. There's our spoil heaps, and we're fast approaching the other portal for this. It's a deep old tunnel, That's why these spoil heaps are so massive. I'll continue on. I'm nearing the other portal now. It should be around here somewhere. I can't seem to find it. But there's lots of railway posts, boundary markers. You can see those going all the way down there. And I'll try and find this other portal. I've made it to the other portal. I think those dips in the ground are possibly not air vents, but the capped off ones definitely are. Now you can see that straight ridge line above me in that truck. That is how close this portal is to the A1M. Now this cutting would have originally cut straight through there because that motorway wasn't there. So they've backfilled it substantially, a long way. I will turn camera around and I will show you that. I'm going to see how close we can get to this portal. It looks wet, it looks boggy compared to the other side. I doubt very much you can get in this side, but if you can, we're going to go in. Alright, so that is the A1M, and this ridge line here is our cutting for the railway. And you can quite nicely see quite a steep infill there, and then gradually tapers off. Looking at the cutting at the top, it tapers off all the way down there, and that tapers off a long way. And I'm going to try and get to that portal end so we can get some pictures of it and have a look at it and see what remains today. So the A1M's that way. We're still on infill basically, and still look how high that is up there. Now you're going to get a glimpse of this portal. You can see how high I am with that. I'm probably about level with this thing here, but there's no getting in there. But you can see how wet it is down here. Look at all the moss, and yeah, it does actually look quite pretty, but there'll be no getting in here today. I will go down and I will check that lock. So I've just tried it. It is locked. There is no getting in here today. If you were determined, you would have no problem getting in here. But you can see how far that backfill goes. There's the top, and it actually has even gone down to here, just up to where the gate is. It barely opens and the rest of it's piled up. Now looking at the arch, identical to the other side. I believe it's brick and stone inside there. It's not a very long one, and if we have a look we can possibly see, well I can, I don't think you can, but I can see a bit of light at the other end. So just quickly, before I go back to the other side, I want to point out to you, over there, and it's active. I hope you can see that. That's a live, active television camera. And I can tell it's active because I can see a red light flashing. I don't know if you can. So if you do come here, do not be breaking into this. You shouldn't be breaking into anywhere anyway. And I suspect it's not going to be here for much longer anyway. So we'll get to the other side and I'll show you. Now I don't think that is for maintenance now that we're back here. I think what that is they're building a nice slope to come down to get lorries down to fill the entrance up of that tunnel. And I think that's what's going on. I'm not sure, I'm not 100% sure. If you do, please drop a comment, let me know. I think because of all the recent YouTube activity there has been down there, people have had enough probably, and they just want to close it off, stop putting anybody at risk, because there are parts in there that are collapsing and dangerous. Not as dangerous as one other tunnel I've been in, so go look through my videos to find that one. I'll turn the camera around and I'll show you this. That is Wrangbrook Lane across the top there, and underneath there used to be a bridge. I don't know when that was filled in. I don't think it was recently, because I've been on the top and there's no walls or parapets to mark where the bridge was, but that was definitely a bridge. Going up onto Wrangbrook Lane. It's a bit rough, ready. You'll probably see those barriers there. That is where there used to be an old bridge that would have gone through here at one time. I think that was filled in long ago, looking at the undergrowth here. But this is all definitely new, disturbed. And there was only my footprints down there, so I wonder if they've been here this week while just after I've come down. I think what they're going to be doing is going down there and filling that one in. Like I say, let me know if you know. Let me know in the comments on what you think's going on. If you've liked this episode, please like, share and subscribe. And what I hope to do is see you in the next one. If you want to know a little bit more about the Hull and Barnsley Railway, I will be covering some sections of it, not all of it, and I'm going to try and do bits what people haven't done, like the cutting. Nobody's really shown you this. Yeah, they've been in the tunnel. I wanted to go in. Sadly, I can't get in. But I'm going to do some other videos down there on some of the junctions that were around here and some of the stations that were around here. Where I'm stood now, within sort of 10 miles, there was as many stations. It was a busy junction area around Upton with mines, junctions and stations. So we will be back here to film some more of this. In the meantime, take care, please like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.